Hey everybody, this is John. I am your friendly neighborhood music mentor here at OV, and I'm doing this video. This is specifically for the staff. This is for everybody on site here. And the reason I'm doing this is something dawned on me just recently, yesterday, and it has to do with how wearing our face masks affects how we communicate. And one of the things that I noticed almost immediately upon coming back and having to wear the face masks is that I was leaving here and my voice at the end of the day was toast. And I really couldn't figure out why. It took me a second to figure out why. And I consider myself, a vocal professional. I'm a trained singer. I've been doing it for a long time. But still, at the end of the day here, I was shot. And I had a really hard time, wanting to talk when I got home. And I realized it's because we're facing a couple of obstacles here with these masks. Number one, we talk all day long, and a lot of us, myself included, forget to utilize, good habits when we speak, but we're facing an extra obstacle because of the masks. And I think what has happened is, at least in my case, and maybe some of you have experienced this too, the masks are doing two things. They're muffling our voices and causing us to have to speak louder in order to be heard, especially if we're wearing a cloth mask or something thicker than a paper mask. We're having to speak louder, we're having to repeat ourselves, and we're taxing our voices a lot more. And the second thing that happens is, again, in my case, maybe in yours, I'm having a hard time being understood by the people I'm talking to. And it's because our normal speaking habits are so ingrained that having to wear this extra thing on our face, it hasn't quite registered yet, at least for me. So I want to do something that may be helpful to everybody here, and that is to utilize a couple of simple vocal exercises, breathing exercises that can help, that you can do before your day starts, that will help maybe prime your voice, so by the end of the day you are not walking away feeling like you swallowed glass. So what I'd like to do is, this is very simple stuff. It needs probably no more than 10 minutes. You don't need to be a singer to do any of this stuff. You just have to be willing to look a little silly while you're doing it, which is why you can do this at home before you leave, or in your car. And some of these are a great way to freak out the people in traffic next to you. But hopefully it's helpful, and it'll help preserve your voice while you're going throughout your day. So, all right, number one, this is the first thing. It all starts with the breath. Everything starts with breath. Whether you're singing or speaking, it doesn't matter. And a lot of us tend to breathe, especially when we're going throughout our day, a lot of us tend to breathe kind of shallow. We'll kind of breathe to about here, right? We'll take breath in everybody's chest. This is a classic thing. You'll see their chest rise, or you see their shoulders come up. And what tends to happen is that causes us not only to breathe shallowly, but to speak shallowly. Our voices tend to get trapped right here in the throat, and that can lead to some bad habits. That can lead to strain, it can lead to injury in a worst case, and it just leads to a lot of fatigue, basically. So hopefully this stuff will alleviate that. So breathing properly, what's that about? Probably everybody's heard of some kind of thing called breathing from the diaphragm, or diaphragmatic breathing. And that's just a fancy way of saying, take deep breaths and let your breath travel down lower into your body than you normally might. It means not breathing, when you inhale, it means not breathing here in the chest, but breathing lower into your body. So this little exercise is designed to help that. What I'd like you to do is, if you can, take your hands and place them just right below your rib cage. Okay, just right below, feel where your ribs end, and place your hands right there. This is kind of where you're going to try to direct your breath. And what we're going to do is we're just going to breathe in for a count of 4 through the nose, and then breathe out for a count of 4. Very simple. So we're going to start with, and then, and as you do this, if you're breathing deeply enough, you're going to feel your ribs expand, and you're going to feel it push. You're going to feel your rib cage push against your hands. So you're just going to breathe in slowly for a count of 4, and then out. And in, and then out. And you should really feel your ribs expand and contract. And if you do that maybe 3, 4, 5 times, that'll really kind of build some awareness of your rib cage and of your diaphragm, and that sense of breathing into your stomach. You can do it by also placing your hand over your stomach and thinking about breathing into your hand. So same idea, you take a breath in through the nose for 4 counts, and then breathe back out again. You're really trying to move your hand back and forth. So with one hand on the stomach, you'd want to go. And then again. And then out. And the whole idea is to build your awareness of this whole mechanism, your diaphragm, right? Which basically goes from below your rib cage down to your stomach. That's kind of the idea. So that's where you want that awareness of your breath. Another exercise that you can do to kind of get your whole breathing mechanism going is what I call pursed lips inhale, or like you're breathing through a straw, right? So imagine you have a straw in your mouth, and what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in almost silently, but keeping your lips in kind of a ooh position, like your mouth is around a straw, and you're going to breathe in until you've got a full breath. And then what you're going to do is you're going to let it out using what I call an ocean breath, right? Or ocean exhale. You're going to breathe in, and then just letting the breath kind of fall out of your body. So breathing in, and out again. And the idea is to do that 4 or 5 times, and between each one of those, take a second to just return to a normal breath, right? And then just breathe normally for a second, and then do another one. And if you do this 4 or 5 times, again, that kind of builds the awareness, and kind of it gets your brain to engage your body to breathe properly. That's the idea. So try that. So you've got your deep inhale with the hands around the rib cage or on your stomach. You've got the breathing in through the straw idea. Okay. Now we're going to move into something that's a little goofier, a little stranger, but it works really well. And the way I learned this was, it's like having a little man sitting on your shoulder, right? And you're going to do quick and short inhales. Pretend this is the little man. I do this in Village Blend all the time. And it's like your diaphragm, like your stomach, is a trampoline. And this man is bouncing up and down on the trampoline. That's the idea. So what you're going to do, it's going to look like this. You're going to breathe in, and then for 9 quick counts, it's going to be, okay, on a he sound. Not making any sound just yet, but it's breath, okay? And this is the man on your shoulder, all right? So here we go. It would be like this. And then that last one, that 9th one, it's a long exhale. So it'd be like this. And the idea behind this is to try to keep this all loose. All the effort, all the, not tension, but all the work should be coming from down below. So it would be, instead of a from the throat, you'd want, and you feel your abdominal muscles contracting and kind of helping you push some air out. So it looked like this. And again. Again. And one more time. okay? And again, that's just to engage your abdominal muscles. And that is all in preparation for actually making some sound. There's one more little breath exercise that we're going to do, and it's very easy. This one you're going to want to do probably by yourself because it does involve expelling some air and possibly some droplets. So you probably want to do this one either in your car or in a room where you've got a lot of space. And it's basically what we call flutter lips, or lip flutters, or motorboats. And it looks like this. It's exactly what you think it is. And you just do those a few times. And what this does, to make that happen, and to do it for any sustained length of time, takes a significant amount of breath. So this again helps just engage that breath and will make sure that you're breathing from the right place. So again, it's just an inhale and this also will warm up your face and get you ready to speak later on, okay? That's another benefit of this. Now, once you've done that a few times, the next thing you're going to want to do is maybe add some sound to it. And it can be just a very simple hum. And what you do is you pick a pitch or a note that is comfortable, somewhere comfortable in your range. Doesn't have to be too high or too low. The key to this, to all of this, is remember, is to not strain anything. Only go as high or as low or for as long as you're comfortable going. If you feel any type of strain here, you're done. Okay, you can stop and move on to the next thing. So that motorboat with a sound would look like this. And it's really more breath than sound. And you do that for as long as you can hold it. And once you're comfortable, once that feels good, you can start playing around with the pitches. Go low to high. You don't have to go as high or as low as I'm going. Keep it within a comfortable range for you. If you're comfortable starting way up high and going low, that's totally fine. If you want to keep it within a narrow set of notes, it's fine. The whole idea is just to warm up the range of your voice and get yourself used to moving around through a range. The habit that a lot of us have is to speak in a relatively small vocal range. Even you'll notice in this video, I'm kind of within a small little range here, but the more you can vary your range, the less stress you're going to put on your throat, the less monotonous things will sound, and it'll just get you thinking and hearing your voice in a different way, and maybe open up some ways of speaking that you hadn't recognized before. Couple more things and then we'll cut this off, but this one is very important. This one is called a hum. It's just what it sounds like. You're going to pick a pitch, pick a note that you're comfortable with. Let's see. So I'll probably be down here somewhere. And the idea is you're just going to hum. You're going to take a big deep breath and hum. But the trick is this. You're going to put your tongue at the roof of your mouth. So it's going to be a very nasal sound. And what that's going to do, it's going to warm up all this area in here, what we singers and actors call the mask, right? Your whole nasal cavity up in here, your forehead, your eyebrows. Basically, you want your voice resonating and coming from up here so you don't have it resting on your throat. So it'll sound like this. So I'm going to place my tongue on the roof of my mouth. And it's going to be this really nasal sound. Just as long as I can hold it. Big breath in. And again. And you don't have to pick the note that I'm on. You can pick any note that's comfortable for you. You can just pull it out of the air. If you happen to be listening to music during the morning, pick a note in the song that you're listening to. Maybe it's, for some of us it'll be here. Maybe for women it might be up here. Or for fellas, if you have a particularly deep voice, it might be down there. But the idea is to keep that hum kind of nasal sounding. And just like we did with the motorboat sound, you can start to vary the pitch after you feel comfortable. If you want to sing a scale, you can. But two things to keep in mind. One, that nasal sound, keeping the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and staying with that low, deep breathing, okay? Or you can just go, it can be as simple as a fall. Be anything like that. If you're feeling brave, you can try one more thing. And this is something I do with Village Blend all the time. It's called a hum and rub. You'll need to remove your glasses. And it basically is exactly what it sounds like. That hum we just did, this is really great for waking up the face, right? You can do this with it. And the idea is just to wake up these areas of your face and head. And it's just a really gentle kind of rub. That's what that is. Any of these things that involve humming, rubbing your face, that kind of thing, just a pro tip that I've learned after years of doing it, it's hilarious if you're doing it in traffic and people catch you. And they will probably think you're insane, which is all the more reason to do it. Anyway, I hope this helps. I'll do another video with maybe addressing some ways to better enunciate things so our words don't get caught in these masks that we have to wear for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that helps. If you like this video, let me know. Feel free to shoot me an email. If you have questions about any of it, again, email me, call the music room, and I'll help you with whatever I can. So this is just a short thing to kind of maybe stave off some vocal fatigue and to allow us to preserve our speaking voices so we can actually speak when all of our clients come back. All right? Thanks a lot. I hope this helps, and stay well.